With the Los Angeles Times, Lindsay Theory joined by beat reporter Gary Klein. We're on the campus of USC, actually in front of the John McKay Center, and as you can see, we're in our Halloween attire because it's the Halloween preview. USC traveling to spooky Washington State to take on the Cougars Saturday. Gary, this is kind of another emotional game for USC after coming off that disappointing loss at Utah. How do they bounce back?
That's going to be the big question. They've played so many games that have come down to the end, to the final minutes, and a couple they survived, Stanford and Arizona, and Utah is the most recent example of the one that they didn't. This is not a situation at Washington State, a team that throws the ball that much, that USC even wants to find itself in that kind of situation again. So they're going to have to get up, bounce back, try and beat Washington State and get ready for Cal, and then, of course, the last games against UCLA and Notre Dame.
And they might not have the sun to help them kind of get up in the morning. It could be rainy, drizzly, and dreary in Pullman. So this team that's accustomed to playing in the sun, to nice conditions, how do they prepare for what could be soggy?
Well, you might be able to.
I might be able to answer that a little better.
Seattle, right? Anyway.
I love the rain.
They have practiced this week with the wet ball, trying to get used to the fact that they might be in the rain. And I asked Steve Sarkisian this week about whether his experience as Washington's coach made him any more cognizant of different things than he was when he was down here in Los Angeles. And he does have experience coaching in the rain. He says he's going to measure, to what degree, is it moisture, is it a downpour? But really, his default strategy, at least when he was at Washington, was to give the ball to the tailback. And Bishop Sankey carried the ball, a million times in a game last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if USC does get some rain, if we see a lot of Javorius Allen and maybe Justin Davis.
And maybe they'll be singing in the rain when it's all said and done. All right, USC's offensive line took a hit when Chad Wheeler was ruled out because of an ACL tear. So Toa Lobendon, a true freshman, is going to be inserted there. Possibly 3 freshmen starting on the offensive line. What has Sarkisian said about how that's going to work out for them?
More youth is served, I guess, is the way. If Damian Mama was probably slated to start at one of the guard spots with Lobendon moving out to tackle, he had a knee issue early in the week. It remains to be seen if he's going to be available for Saturday. But you got Lobendon, Mama, Vianney Talamfayo, and a redshirt freshman, Khalil Rogers, is probably going to be starting next to him. So lots of things going on there. Andre Walker, obviously at this point, is going to be a swing tackle, swing lineman for them. He's going to play in a backup role, and they're just hoping, I think, that they can get through this game with that kind of weather where linemen are going to be going down on the ground, whether they like it or not, because of the conditions, that they can come out of this relatively healthy heading into the Cal game.
USC's secondary is going to have a big test against Connor Halliday, who throws the ball. Virtually, it's all he does is throw the ball. It must be fun if you're playing flag football or something. But how does USC's secondary kind of stay in it? It's a bunch of young guys who are definitely going to be tested.
Right. Gerald Bowman, a senior safety, he's probably going to be back this week. Had a foot issue that kept him out last week, but I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's on the field against Washington State. So perhaps that gives them some stabilization. But as Sarkisian noted, if they throw the ball 85 times a game, it doesn't matter if you're the 85 Chicago Bears, which I thought actually was a pretty good line.
That was good.
But so it remains to be seen. Mike Leach, the coach at Washington State, he's going to put it up. They are going to throw the ball. I won't be surprised if he tries to mix it up a little bit with some runs, but that's what they do. And Kevon Seymour, Adoree Jackson, Chris Hawkins, Jonathan Plattenberg, all these young guys, Seymour a little bit more experienced, they are going to be tested. And when you talk to guys who play in the secondary, they call this a dream game because there's more opportunities to get interceptions, but they're going to have to be in a position to do that.
That dream game, if it all goes well. Maybe Mike Leach, since it's going to be close to Halloween, will be in a pirate costume. I know Gary will probably be in his standard gear. All right, so that will do it for the Halloween edition of a USC Washington State preview. Be sure to keep it on the Los Angeles Times for all the latest on the Trojans. And if you have any questions, be sure to email me or tweet at me, and I will answer them in a weekly USC Now mailbag. With Gary Klein, I'm Lindsay Theory for the Los Angeles Times.